Hey, you guys, and welcome to a book haul Monday, where there's a book haul every Monday while supplies last. So it's been a while since I've actually had to catch up on my book hauls just a little bit. So this is going to be a book haul for March and April. Technically in March I didn't buy myself any physical books. If you guys will know, I did put up hauls, but they were all like birthday gifts from other people, so I'll link those down below if you guys haven't seen them. But these ones are for the ones that I specifically bought for myself. So in March I did have some ebooks to show you, and in April I have ebooks to show you, but I did buy 3 physical books in April as well, so I'll show you guys those first and then the ebooks will be afterwards. So for the first book that I got, it was Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I really enjoyed the BBC adaptation drama that they did earlier in the year, and so I have wanting since then to get the hands on the physical book and read it, because I just felt like maybe there's details I was missing or something. So I'm really glad to finally be able to read it for myself. But I got it from Thrift Books, and it was supposed to be like new hardcover condition. That's not what it came in. Not even close. It was a paperback from World Book Night 2013. Yeah, I'm on the lookout now for another hardcover. But until then, hey, can still read it. Then I have Opal by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is the 3rd book in the Luck series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. As you guys know, the struggle is real to find a 2nd and 3rd book, but in like the individual ones. But Amazon actually had them in stock, so I was really happy, because I found out not too long after I got the 2nd book, but I wasn't able to buy it for a while, so I was afraid that it would go out of stock and it'd be like, not finding it for a long time, or waiting until Amazon finally has it in stock. But no, they still had it, so I was really glad. Now I can start the series since I own the first 4 consecutively. Yay! Hopefully I enjoy the series as much as everyone else seems to. The next book that I got is The River of No Return by B. Ridgway. And this one I have been wanting for a while, and it used to be on BookHaul outlet all the time. But when I finally went to go get it, of course, they didn't have it. So I got it from Thrift Books finally, and it came in the condition and the hardcover that I wanted. This one follows this girl, and she's at like her grandfather's deathbed, and she she's at her grandfather's deathbed, and he's dying. He's like, pretend. And she's like, what? And she's like, and he's just like, just pretend. Anyway, she goes home. She sees her grandfather, but he's older and more battle scarred than he was. And she's like, what is going on? Well, that's how I interpret it. And then he tells her like these secrets about like this guild that travels back and forth in time, and there's like this war going on, and then like they're breaking all their own rules. So I'm really excited to see about this book. It says right here, he jumped forward in time to save his life. Now he must jump back to save the future. So that sounds really intriguing, and I'm really looking forward to it. So one of the first few books that I got in March, basically, I guess we can count some of the ebooks that I bought in March where someone gave me cash for my birthday, so it was just like I bought ebooks. So yeah. But the first book that I got was Chantel Fernando by Chantel Fernando, and it was Dragon's Lair. And this one I gave 5 out of 5 stars to. I already read it. I loved it. It follows this girl and her fiance. She finds her fiance cheated on her, so you know she breaks up with him, and then she has a one-night stand with this guy who not only turns out to be involved in like a motorcycle club, but he's also the her ex-fiance's brother. So that is so much fun, and I really loved it. And I will try really hard not to give you like a whole plot like anymore, like a whole review, because I have a tendency to do that if I already read the book in a book haul. The next book that I have to show you guys is Time Will Tell by Chantel Fernando, and this is the 3rd book in the, I think it's the Time series by her. I read the 3 previous books because there was like a novella type thing, like it was like 2.5, and while I haven't read this one yet, I'm really looking forward to it, and I won't take too many details because I don't want to spoil any parts of the series. The next book that I have for you guys is What Doesn't Destroy Us by MN4G, and it's another motorcycle club book, and this one follows this girl and her mother. Ooh, she is a piece of work. She's been on this girl all her life not to turn out like her father, saying all these bad things about him. And anyway, she gets into some kind of trouble that we don't learn right away, and then they go visit her father. This is her first time ever meeting him, and she's been compared to him her whole life. He didn't even know she existed up until that point. Turns out he's a motorcycle club president, of like a motorcycle club, yes. And then during the story line, she kind of like is kind of like looking at one of the people who's in his club, which is a big no-no for her and for the guy, because it's not good to be like wanting to date the president's daughter and stuff like that. So and then the next book I got was a pre-order, and it was Surviving the Biker by Cassie Alexandra. And the first book, Resisting the Biker, is free on the Kindle still, I believe, so I'm gonna link it down below. Oh, and What Doesn't Destroy Us was like $1.99 on the Kindle now. If it still is, I'll link that one down below as well. But anyway, Resisting the Biker, the first book, was another motorcycle club book. You're into the theme, yes. And it follows this girl who's friends with this other girl, her and her friend is dating someone from the motorcycle club, and she's like, why are you doing this? Just all sorts of stuff. It's nothing but trouble. But then she meets one of the other guys who's in the club, and they just keep getting thrown together by circumstances, and with that, their interests level keeps rising whenever they see each other. So she's just starting to think, why not? This next book though is another book that like it went down in price. It's currently 99¢, and it's called Hell in High Water by Charlie Cochet. This is the first in the third series. Now I have to do a little world building for you right here. So this takes place where like a bomb happened, and like instead of like, well, I'm pretty sure it still killed people, but it also like gave us another revolutionary human development rush kind of thing, and they thought it would just happen with just that generation, but it turns out no, it keeps happening down the line where people are able to shift into what they name Thurons, Thurons or whatever, and like they shift them to panthers and tigers and sort of stuff like that. So of course some people are freaking out, some people are more accepting, just you know the whole spiel basically. So anyway, the Thirds itself is kind of like this task force to foster human Theron relations, and they are the police force for the Theron people. Anyway, this book follows Dex, who works for the human police force. He's a homicide detective, but he just testified against his partner, and he's not having such a good time at the precinct. And his adopted stepfather, who who's high up in the Thirds police force, gets him transferred over to them, and he gets into the squad, and he has like this thing going on where like he's just joining the squad, and they've been through quite a few replacements since the old guy who used to be one of the people's partners died. So he has that whole group dynamic going for him, plus like him and his partner, who's so gruff all the time, he's having a will or won't they moment with him. And then on top of that, there's that really high profile case that they're working on, and all that stuff is just kind of boiling over, and it was all really awesome, and I just, oh my god, it's just like so awesome. I've been trying to read the book slowly. It's just really hard. And then anyway, the next books that I got was the King Trilogy by Mimi Jean Pamphilif, and that's what it looks like. It was $2.99 for the box set. How could I resist? I've been kind of interested in the series for now, and I decided to go ahead and take the leap, so to speak. So anyway, it follows this girl, and no one believes her that her brother's in trouble, or really they just don't care, or like anything. Just all seems so suspicious. So she's giving this number to this guy who is bound to help her, but he's just like, I basically, if I do, I own you, is basically what he got at. And she's like, what? He's like, well, if you really want your brother back or be safe or whatever, I own you. And she's like, yes. And I'm like, and then that's where it kind of goes. I only read the first couple pages, so I don't really know what happens after that, but I'm really looking forward to reading more of it. Now, the next two books, I'm confused on which one I got for $1.99, the other for $2.99, but whatevs. The first one is Alienated by Melissa Landers, and I've seen this one going around, and I've been hearing good things, and it seems interesting. So, this one is where like aliens are real, like we've discovered aliens here out on Earth and stuff like that, and they're hosting like an exchange program between like students, like they're two teenagers. So this alien boy comes to stay with this alien girl. I mean, not alien girl, but like an Earth girl, and she's kind of hesitant, but she's like up for it. And they start having problems at school, and they have to be escorted to class and everything. And she's starting to kind of like him, even though she never thought she would. But then again, he's not there for entirely innocent reasons there, apparently, anyway. So I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully I like it as much as everyone seems to. And the next book that I got is Falling Into Place by Amy Zong. And this one, of course, I've heard a lot about. I think everyone's heard a lot about it at this point. It's about this, I believe it follows a girl, and she drives her car off a bridge or something, trying to commit, or she commits suicide. And I think we just go back in her thoughts or her day before everything that escalated to that point. So, seems interesting, and I'm hoping to get to it soon. And I think we can definitely tell by this point that I must have entered April territory at the very least, because the first book that we have is The Scars That Define Us by MN4G, and this is the sequel to What Doesn't Destroy Us, because the first one ended on such a cliffhanger, and I was just like, what? And so I got this one. I haven't read it yet, but I will sometime soon. Until then, I won't get any of the other books in the series. Yeah, there's more, so what? Then the next book that I got is Blood and Thunder by Charlie Crochet. You probably are not surprised, since I love Hell and High Water so much. I had to get this one, and I enjoyed it so much, you guys. I was just like, the things that are happening, like especially the case that they were working on, was just like, yes, and the character development that was happening. Love it, love it. How can I say? How much more can I say? And then the next book that I have to show you guys is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Oration. And you guys seen this one around. I believe this one was like $1.99, $2.99. I can't remember. I remember I had wanted to pre-order it, but I was like holding myself back. So when I saw it on the ebook, I was like, yes, now's my chance. It follows in this mythical land, some government or whatever, or like, you know, court has been overthrown, and like they stamped out winter or whatever along with like all the magic that went on in that kingdom. And then 8 people from that kingdom had managed to escape, and it follows like this girl who like grown up one of these 8 survivors, and she's working really closely with the prince, who they're like trying to get back in power one day. And anyway, while she's away on a scouting mission to find this locket that will be able to help restore magic to the land, she decides to go for it, I believe. And then there's all this intrigue, so to speak. So last but not least, is not one I think I got in March or April really, but it was 99 cents, and it was a trilogy box set. It is a photographer trilogy, and it has Tainted Bodies, Tainted Pictures, and Untainted. And I had been interested in reading the first book, and so when I saw all 3 for sale, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and get it. So in this book, there's this serial killer. I guess he's called the photographer or whatever, because when he takes a photograph of someone, he ends up he kills them. And anyway, he follows this girl, and she gets her photo taken, and her like whole world changes and stuff happens. So I'm really interested to see how everything goes down. So you guys, let me know down below if you guys have heard of any of these books, if you guys are interested in any of these books, you planning on getting them, or if you already read them, what your thoughts are. Let me know down below, and let me know what else you guys have gotten in lately. I would love to know. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.